I will vote. Vote Donald Trump. I will vote. Vote my war. You know, when you are trying to prove that you are stubborn, when you're trying to make it look like without you, nobody can make decision, when you're trying to make it look like you are well glorified and there is nothing anybody can do, small thing can mess you up. Now, let it make sense to me that Iranians messed the orange man up to the point that he is now ready to do what you guys are about to watch. You know, we slept on the 27th of February. We woke up on the 28th. The orange man told us we are at war. We are at war. And he's making us to pass through every single thing that we have literally been passing through. But right now, there is a say that said a child that said his mother will not sleep. That child will also be awake. He or she will also not sleep. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And guys, with that being said, let's go watch. I'll be back with commentaries.
Donald Trump extended the ceasefire with Iran because the U.S. is running out of weapons. Last week, Donald Trump said, we're going to have a deal signed by the end of the weekend. When that didn't happen, by Monday, he said, we're not going to extend the ceasefire deal. If nothing is signed, we're just going to start bombing again. Well, guess what happened today? An extension of the ceasefire deal. And why issue an extension to the ceasefire deal that was meant to expire today? Because U.S. missile stockpiles have been depleted because of the war in Iran. We're literally running out of weapons. According to a new analysis from the Center for Strategic and International Studies, the sheer scale of Operation Epic Fury's air and missile campaign has left incredible gaps in the U.S.'s munition reserves. And here's just some details on the depletion levels. Patriot missiles, almost 50% of the total stockpile has been depleted. THAAD missile interceptors, more than half of the inventory has been expended. Precision strike missiles, more than 45% of the stockpile is completely used up. And if that's not enough, CENTCOM has confirmed today that we are rearming, retooling in preparation for continuation of the war. Now, Iran previously rejected ceasefire negotiations, saying they don't want a temporary ceasefire, they want a permanent end to the war, and any ceasefire with the U.S. is just going to be used as an opportunity for the enemy to resupply and attack again. Well, it looks like Iran was right because CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper said, we're rearming, we're retooling, and we're adjusting our tactics, techniques, and procedures. There's no military in the world that adjusts like we do, and that's exactly what we're doing right now during the ceasefire. Because this isn't an actual ceasefire, it's an opportunity to resupply. But the only reason they need to resupply in the first place is because of how poorly they strategized in the first part of this war, that nearly half of our weapons stockpile is depleted. This shows incredible weakness on the U.S.'s part right now.
Iran just called Donald Trump's bluff for the second time and forced him to back down as he extends the ceasefire indefinitely. Now, as you know, Donald Trump has given Iran an ultimatum. They had to make a deal by Wednesday or the bombing would continue and they would be sent back to the Stone Ages. And this is the second time he's made such a threat. Well, Iran is not coming to the table to negotiate, let alone make a deal, and Donald Trump is backing down as he took to Truth Social to announce that he is going to extend the ceasefire indefinitely until Iran comes to the table with a proposal, which is almost a surrender at this point. If he's telling Iran, look, we're not going to fire at you anymore, we're done bombing you, he's essentially backing off of them completely. They have almost at this point secured more leverage than they've ever had in their existence. This is one of the most embarrassing moments in the history of the United States as Donald Trump took on a much weaker country with the strength of our military, and we're the ones backing down. We're the ones folding, thanks to Donald Trump.
America has officially lost the war with Iran. So today, Trump extended the ceasefire indefinitely instead of admitting defeat. Now, the reason why this means defeat is because they're trying to do more peace talks. In these peace talks, all America is trying to negotiate is to create the situation that was happening pre-war. Anytime you ever negotiate for pre-war conditions, it means you lost. Every single time that has ever happened in history, it's always been the loser asking for these conditions. Now, alongside losing the war, we lost billions of dollars. We lost every single one of our military bases in the Middle East. And not only that, we lost any remaining hope for our government. See, the war with Iran wasn't just a money pit. It was a catastrophic defeat. And it was absolutely pointless. We had no reason to go fight with Iran. Iran didn't just randomly attack any of our naval ships like the Liberty. Iran did not take down the Twin Towers. Iran is not blackmailing our politicians. Iran does not have an island filled with children on it. Iran is not putting propaganda in our news, in our movies, and in our music. Iran has not entirely infiltrated our entire financial system. Iran doesn't have a nuclear program. Iran is not our enemy. The true enemy is the one who did all the things I just listed.
This looks like weakness. It really does. But if you stop there, you're going to miss the actual situation, what is actually happening. Trump just extended a ceasefire, right? Just yesterday. And Iran never agreed to it. They didn't come to negotiations at all. And within hours, they're seizing ships and firing in the Strait of Hormuz. So the obvious reaction here is, wow, he's losing control, right? And yes, on the surface, it is exactly what's happening. Because if you declare peace and the other side escalates anyway, you're not controlling the situation at all. But here's where it gets more complicated than just that. At the exact same time, the US is still applying pressure, like naval presence, enforcements, seizures, all that is still happening. So what you actually have is this. A public message that is calm, controlled, and a private reality of ongoing conflict, hot. That creates something very specific. It allows one side to say, we chose peace, while the other side is forced into the role of the aggressor, those who chose the escalation. This isn't just about control anymore. This, in this situation, is about controlling the narrative of who's responsible, and that's very important. That's where things get dangerous, because when perception and reality split, that's when situations spiral out of control and fast. Markets believe one thing, militaries respond to another thing, and the public is left trying to figure out what's actually real and what's not. So is this weakness? To a point, maybe, but it might be something else entirely. It might be a situation when control is slipping and narrative is stepping in to replace it. And historically, that's not where any kind of stability begins. That's where things start to break apart.
So it was just announced that the U.S. is planning to extend its ceasefire with Iran past the deadline, which was supposed to be Tuesday, April 21st at midnight. So I guess the deadline is being extended. At the time of this video, it's unclear how long or how far the deadline will be extended to. Now, there were reports that J.D. Vance was not planning to travel to Pakistan in order to continue negotiations, and it was unclear whether or not Iranian officials were going to be sending delegates for these negotiations that have been taking place in Pakistan, right? Now, at the time of this video, the U.S. is saying that they're going to continue their naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. They're going to continue to load ships as well. Now, Iran has been extremely clear on their conditions. If you missed it, I have an earlier video that highlights what their demands are, essentially a cessation of hostilities from America. Keep in mind, the U.S. and its proxy Israel bombed Iran first. And then multiple times during negotiations, the U.S. has assassinated Iranian leaders or bombed Iran. So, of course, they might have cold feet when it comes to negotiating with the United States because the United States keeps bombing them. Now, at the time of this video, the ceasefire will continue past today.
Donald Trump summarily walked away from the war in Iran. he walked away. He quit. You know, he said it. Whether or not the problems are fixed, I am done with this war. It was too expensive for the US. It was too expensive for the US. Now I am vindicated. Okay, see what he said. That he is extending the ceasefire until Iran submit a proposal for an agreement. I am extending it indefinitely, no date. So if Iran does not submit an agreement, you can stay there. But me, I'm done. I'm waiting for Iran. So if you meet Donald Trump tomorrow, what happened to the war in Iran? We are waiting for Iran to submit an agreement. A proposal for agreement. They have not. We're still waiting for them. we said Iran is not Venezuela. You guys will listen. Anyway, so what's the way forward? What's the way forward? As I said before, forget about the headlines. All right. Now, what Trump summarily said is this: I am walking away from this whole thing, but then we will be talking behind, using back channels. So what that means is that negotiations are going to continue, but no more fight. At least let's assume he's serious. Let's not say that he's lying, that he's going to hit them back. Let's say that he meant what he said. What he said is that we can keep talking. Iran told them yesterday, and Iran said, if you want to continue with the attacks, we are ready for you. In fact, we have new cards waiting for you. A lot of them. So many surprises you've not seen before. Do you understand? But my major concern is the Trump's supporters. Are you guys disappointed that Iran is still standing? How do you feel that Iran is still here? We said follow who no road. You were following this issue with emotions, blindly, calling me names, insulting me. Now look at it there. Geopolitics is not your mate. Do you understand? Geopolitics is not your mate. So if you were asked who won in this whole thing, who won? Iran proved the point. It's not about everyone won, who lost. For the fact that Iran withstood America to this point that America had to back off, who won? Did I lie? I want one of you right now in the comment section to point where I lied. Everything that I said before this war started till today, where did I miss it? What did I say that did not happen? Come out right now. Let's assume that Donald Trump is serious with what he said. I'm even sweating, seriously. Let's assume that he is serious with what he said. And of course, why would he be serious? Iran is not scared of anything. Let's see if Israel is going to respect this. Because I believe that by now, okay, I even mentioned that name again, no problem. I believe that the problem land will not be happy about this. I don't think. But what can they do? What can they do? But let's see. Anyway, I came to let you know that Donald Trump said that he's extending the ceasefire indefinitely until Iran comes up or are able to submit a proposal for an agreement. So let's see the next coming days if the U.S. naval officers will still be there at the Strait of Hormuz. But put your ears on the ground. Everything, if it's serious, everything will go quiet. They will talk this thing behind closed doors and they will resolve these issues and nothing will change. Nothing will change. That's the end for now. That's the end. That's just it. They came cause destructions. He said Obama didn't know what he was doing. Even I'm not supporting Obama, but I always believe that peace, diplomacy is better than all of these things. Yeah, but so shame on you guys. Shame on you. It's my time to tell you, shame on you. Those of you that thought America was invisible, that they could do whatever they wanted to do, anything, shame on you. For that, this even knows. What do you know?
Well, and welcome to another day in the United States of unnecessary war plays and the pedo elite running things. I'm so fucking tired, honey. I'm so tired. But here's the tea. The pedo-in-chief is going to extend the ceasefire deal and continue to block the Strait of Hormuz. With every accusation being a confession, it's clear to see that our government is fractured and frayed, because that's what Daddy Duppy Pants took to his not-so-trues to try to say about Iran today. Pause to read if you need to, baby. Now, I don't know who's telling the big back his information today, but one thing is absolutely true over there in the Middle East when it comes to Iran, boo. They are all on the same page in that country. They all feel the same way, from their leaders to the people in the street. But over here, we're fractured. Nobody's on the same page. The strait is closed because of the big back, not because of Iran. He's refusing to open it back up because he got outplayed, hun. It's just as simple as that. Iran doesn't need a nuclear weapon. That fear-mongering from the land that is not real and the big backbone spread biff, that's all it is, dear. Iran's never needed a nuclear weapon. Persia has existed for quite some time. And some of the most skilled and largest militaries on the globe throughout history have had the opportunity to try to take down the Persian Empire. And they never fucking succeeded. You would think somebody who claims to be all about real estate today would understand location, location, location. Iran doesn't need a nuclear weapon because of location, location, location. They don't need one. They don't have to threaten to destroy the land and the air, the water too, with the nuclear fucking materials, boo. They can grind the globe to a halt by closing the strait. And that's exactly what they did. And when the big backbone spurred Biff could not talk his way out of and threaten his way out of this bullshit, the beta bitch boy that he be, he decided to copy Iran by closing down the strait himself, hun. How very original, dear. You don't know how to win that war over there, so you're just going to try to do the same thing that they did? How's that going to work out for you? Because, you know, when Iran closed down the strait, well, everybody was looking at the big back to get it back open. You know, that would have made him great. But it's still closed today, not because of Iran, but because of him and the fact that he don't know how to win this unwinnable war, friend. You know, it would do the big back a bit of help today if he actually understood anything about Iran, the Persian Empire, and how long it has existed and who has tried to take it down throughout history. It never fell. And it won't today. Because threats, that's not the way. Killing innocent women and children, that's not going to make you a winner. This is an unwinnable war. Like every war in the Middle East. Maybe in a future day, zealous-ass white men will stop fucking with the Middle East. It's not your land. And you don't know what to fucking do with it. They want you to believe that Iran was going to have a nuclear weapon that would devastate the planet, hun. Iran doesn't need a nuclear weapon to grind the whole globe to a halt. They proved that when they closed the strait. And that big back was so jealous that he had been outplayed that now he has closed the strait. How original. Just copying your enemy, dear. Not a chess master. Just a pawn in the land that is not real's game today. And how, oh how, Is the land that is not real going to abide the orange guy extending that ceasefire deal? Because it goes against everything that they wanted to do. All of their intent for genocide in Lebanon. Boom. We seen what happened when Dudu disagreed with Daddy over the weekend. He directed his soldiers to start toppling the statues of Christians, and then pretended like he was going to investigate it and hold those soldiers to account. But tell me, dear, if he won't hold them to account for raping women and children, what the fuck you think he's going to hold them to account for a statue being toppled? And the Big Backbone Spud Biffity B, along with the other pulp fiction Christians, are going to read marathon-like the Bible tonight. Well, he's just going to read that one little passage that makes him feel great, speaking from his full fucking throat, not in the guise of Jesus, they say. 7th chapter, 2nd Chronicles, I believe. Yeah, white Christian nationalists love that fucking verse, baby. Do you know how many Christians the land that is not real has taken the lives of with their genocidal, homicidal deals from Gaza to Lebanon? Thousands. They've burned down churches. They've toppled statues. They've tortured, raped, and abused Christians in the Middle East, boo. And that's gonna escalate. Mark my words, baby. Because Dudu doesn't want a ceasefire. Fractured and frayed is our government today. Before you try to throw your blame at somebody in the Middle East, you might want to put your eyes to D.C. Where yesterday they arrested veterans for peacefully protesting. They stood there at about face and peacefully spoke their piece yesterday. But the fascist regime here in the US of A could not abide a peaceful protest, honey, and they arrested over 60 veterans. They didn't storm the Capitol. They didn't have weapons, guns and pitchforks and tear gas. Oh no. You remember that day, the Orange Ho calls it a day of love, baby. Well, if that's what he thinks love is, honey, when are we gonna show him some love in D.C.? Just asking for 340 million friends, baby. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with more tea. I'm still burnt out. It's hard for me to do this, baby. Hopefully I'll be better tomorrow. Who really knows? Love you, though.
Anyways, welcome back, guys. And one of the questions I keep asking every single time or every single day of my life is, why is it that this war was literally meant for Israel and the Orange Man took over this war, and Israel is now like they are helping? I don't know if you get, Israel is not like they are the one helping US instead of US helping Israel. Israel started this WAR for crying out loud. But because the Orange Man wants to prove that he is glorified, he is more feared, he is more this, he wants to take the title of, oh, I started the World War III. You now have to bring out the shoulder to say, oh, we are at war. We slept on the 27th of February. Nothing happened. We were so peaceful in the world. Until this man wakes up to say, we are at war with Iran. And as it stands, the way I'm seeing it, Benjamin Netanyahu has left you behind, sir. He has left you behind. Now see the way these people, these Iranians are messing with his head. They were supposed to have a negotiation. they were supposed to have a quick talk in Pakistan, right? Now, Iranians did not say anything until it was very close where they were supposed to have the negotiation. Iranians sent a message by saying that they are literally not going to show up. They are not sending any delegates for negotiation. That the only way they can send a delegate for negotiation is when the Orange Man removed the naval blockade that has blocked their Strait of Hormuz. And because the Orange Man is someone that wants to be feared, he wants to be respected, he wants everybody to see him and start running helter-skelter, he said no, he's not going to do that. So he's not going to do that. Do you think that these people are going to succumb to you? Iranians have made it clear over time that they are not coming to plan for this war. They are not preparing for this war. They are ready for this war. Iranians started saying it even when Trump was like, he's going to send troops to put boots on the ground. They made it clear that this is not a thing of we are already prepared. The only thing we are waiting for is how we can unleash. And it is obvious that the Orange Man and his friend are already losing out of weapons. Look at the millions and billions that have gone into this godforsaken WAR, where a lot of Americans are suffering. A lot of Americans cannot even afford 1 square meal. This man decided to cut tariffs. This man decided to cut food stamp, decided to cut Medicare, and so on and so forth, just because he wants to do WAR with Iran. And right now, look at how they are messing up with him. He made mouth and claimed that he would never agree for a ceasefire. Now, finally, he's extending the ceasefire. So who is now the boss? And who is now being played as a fool? Let me know in the comment section, and credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. I want to get your honest opinion in the comment section. And guys, thank you so much for saying stick and hook with me to the end of this video. Yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be Simba, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.